Hello. So, where do I start? Welcome to week 1 of my baby actually being here, present and not in my tummy. I find it so surreal. I'm not gonna lie, I still can't really fully get my head around it that this is actually real. Why am I getting emotional? Okay, I'm alright now. I'm just a very, very happy mummy, and it's really weird to even say that I'm a mum. I'm actually a mum. That's sort of shit scary and so amazing at the same time. Anyway, yeah, so he's exactly 1 week old today. Time has already just flown by, and although it's been like a roller coaster of a week, I wouldn't change it for the world. Like, I need to get my shit together. Oh yeah, it has been very, very, very difficult, but very, very, very fun at the same time. Yeah, if you're pregnant and you're gonna be a mum for the first time, hold on tight, because you're in for the maddest ride. Especially with your emotions. I promise these are happy tears. No, right, so let's go back to the beginning. So this time last week was his eviction day, so it was C-section day. And I'm not gonna lie, I was so chilled out. Like, I thought I'd be really nervous, but I think I hadn't really processed the fact that he was coming out that day, if that makes sense. So even though I was going in for like major surgery, like I can't explain how unworried I was. It was weird. And then I remember going to the toilet, and while I was sitting on the toilet I could hear this excited voice, and I was like, I recognise that voice. And when I came out, it was my good friend Nishi, my work colleague. So she's agency staff where I work, and she'd said ages ago, it's very unlikely that you're gonna end up having to have a C-section, but if you do, please tell me I want to be part of the team. So obviously, when I found out that I was gonna have a C-section, I told Nishi to see if she could sort out her shifts and basically be there to be part of the theatre team. Anyway, I was told I was going to be third on the list, which would have taken us around to like lunchtime. And then again, about 11:30ish, I could hear a familiar voice coming into the ward again, and it was Nishi running around to basically say that I'm going in next. I got so scared all of a sudden. I was like so nervous. I thought, oh my god, it's actually happening. And then not long after she'd given me the heads up that they'd changed the order of the list, my midwife came round to basically escort me to theatre, and my legs were like jelly walking down that corridor. Why do they walk us to theatre? Like I actually generally thought I was going to pass out. I was so like nervous because it was just something like trying to like build myself up. It was just like, you're going now. And I just remember this midwife talking to me along the corridor, you know, like how people try and take your mind off things, and I do not remember anything she said. And then, like theatre is, they're very good at distracting you, talking to you, attacking you from all areas so you don't get time to think about what's going on. Obviously not attacking, that's the wrong word, Lauren. Had an epidural, it's the first time I've had an epidural. That is the weirdest thing ever. The injection, honestly, if you're going to have one, really don't worry about it. It's not painful at all. And they do it so quickly, like I said, they distract you, so you don't even get a chance to think about it. Just try and relax as much as possible. When I was in there, obviously I was a bit, where the adrenaline and the nerves hitting, I was so clammy. I was sweating. I just remember thinking, please hurry up and get this over and done with so I can lie down, because I felt a bit like, I'm going to pass out sort of thing. But it wasn't because of the pain, it was just because I was just something came over all nervous. But yeah, the minute the epidural goes in, the feeling you get in your legs is so bizarre, and it works so quickly. I remember getting myself into the laying down position, because they get you to move fairly quickly. You lay down, and then I remember the anaesthetist saying, okay, now lift your leg, and you generally think you can still move it. And I was like, I can't. And he was like, come on, you're not even trying. He was a good lad, actually. He was quite funny. But yeah, couldn't at all. And after that, it all happened so quickly. You don't feel anything. You do feel like a bit of tugging and stuff. That was weird as well. I generally felt it was almost like they were looking for something. Well, clearly they were looking for squid. But you can almost feel like they're digging around in there. It's like Mary Poppins' handbag or something. And it felt like it took a bit to get him out. I still have yet to see Nishi to actually get the details. And the minute he came out, I remember Jay saying, I think he's out. But we didn't hear him cry. And then it was like literally seconds later he cried. And it was, even then, I don't think I was still fully aware what was going on. And then I just remember hearing them all laughing and that. And basically Nishi and the surgeon were saying how he peed all over them and all over his face pretty much after he cried. The minute he came out, he had a wee. So I think that's a good story to tell him when he's older. I remember them holding him up, so they pull down the drapes so you get to see. And I remember them saying to me, so what is he? And I remember just looking at him and thinking, he's a really disgusting baby because he's covered in all this goo. And then I remember Nishi going saying, no, what gender is he? And then I realised these big balls dangling just behind his cord, because his cord was like really thick, guys. And that's a really bizarre thing as well. It just looks like massively thick plastic. It's so weird. But yeah, his ball bags was hanging behind that, and his willy clearly was hiding because it's tiny. And I was like, oh my god, it's a boy. Like, I knew it from day dot. I was saying he was a boy from day dot. Mother instincts and all that. So yeah, I was very chuffed that I was right. Obviously Jay was chuffed because now he's got one of each. We had skin to skin, so the midwife came and plopped him on my chest, which was scary because I had something like this tiny little human being, and I felt like I couldn't hold him, and it was almost like he was slipping down under my chin because he didn't really have a lot of space. And then he was constantly like looking around, and then so he was like really alert, like more or less straight away. It was weird. And then he was definitely looking for a breast, and he got a bit fidgety, and in the end I said like, oh, I think someone needs to take him. So they went and weighed him and all that stuff, gave him his vitamin K injection. Jay went and cut the cord, and then I got Jay to hold him after that. And they said he wants feeding, like he's gonna literally want to be feeding when you get into recovery. The stitching up bit felt like forever, and that's probably the only time where I thought, oh, it's a little bit uncomfortable. Like, it didn't hurt, but it was just a really bizarre feeling. It generally felt like they were pulling my skin up really high and stitching it, and the washing out before they start stitching, when they're making sure like it's all washed out and stuff before they close, that was bizarre. It was like they're really like reshuffling like all your organs or something. That bit was a bit bizarre. Oh, the catheter, didn't feel a thing. They put that in just after you'd laid down and been given the epidural. And then the only bit that was painful was my cannula, because while I was so clammy, the plaster kept coming off, so it was pulling the cannula. So that was a bit ouchy. Got into recovery, and pretty much they said, are you ready for him to feed? Because he's ready. And I was just like, yeah, go for it. And he basically latched on straight away, and I remember thinking, I do not know how I'm going to feel with breastfeeding. Like, the idea of something living off your breast just felt like really weird to me. But the minute he latched on, it's crazy how people, I know it sounds really cliche, and people say, oh, when it comes to it, it feels so natural, it's an amazing feeling. I can't say it's an amazing feeling, but there is something about it, and I don't know if it's like that, sort of like you have a purpose, or you feel needed, or if it's just like a motherly instinct that you get straight away, that it's like something you need to do for your baby. I don't know, it's really weird. But yeah, I didn't dislike it, but I didn't love it.